So for this, there's a really old saying, and it's extremely applicable here. And the saying is, how do you eat an elephant? You don't. Yes. No. So it's an old saying. It says, piece by piece, right? The old saying is, how do you eat an elephant? And the saying is just one bite at a time. And the idea is that if you take a look at something here, or even if you get into some of the tougher ones, right? Like this, or like especially this one, you might look at this and say, Mr. Kimmel, there's no way. I have no idea how I'm going to finish this. So, but the idea is that you might say, well, I know where to start. I can get something. I can draw a couple things, right? Like there's a circle here, and then there's probably another circle here. So the idea is that if you look at one of these and you let these overwhelm you, they will absolutely overwhelm you. But if you take it with a different attitude that says, well, I guess I'll just start in the middle. I'll do this, and then, I don't know, circle, 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 and then maybe I'll go over here and do a couple circles, and then I'll go down and over here a couple. And then you're like, well, maybe I'll just do a little more. And before you know it, you might end up done, right? So the idea is that if you go bite by bite, piece by piece, and you just kind of dig around with what you know, you might end up actually just being able to do it. So don't let these overwhelm you. So for these, when it comes to the CAD file, you can take a look. Make sure you check your O-snap and make sure you have node on so you can click on the center point, but you also need to add tangent, okay? So basically all you're gonna do is you're gonna go here. This would be your starting point. So it says start here. You're gonna draw your two circles, okay? And then from there, I wouldn't do any of this other tangent stuff, right? I would just go from here to where? Circle. Yep, the center of the other circle. So here you can just go over here, right? So that's 3 inches, and you can go up here, and that's 1 inch, and that's your new center. Once you put your two circles on there, then you can say, all right, circle, 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 circle. Then you add in a couple tangencies, and you're done. I actually draw in the lines and then go back and delete them later. You're welcome not to. It's totally up to you. But basically, you can go from here. As long as you have node on, you can go straight over this way, 3, right? And then you can go straight up this way, go completely vertical. I'll turn ortho on, that'll make it easier. Go up 1, right? And so those are gonna be your two center points. So if you look and you come over here at center radius, you can click here and do a 0.5. You can click here and do a 1. You can click here and do a 0.25. And you can click here and do a 0.5. So the idea is that even if you look at this and say there's no way, most of you can at least figure this out, right? You got these two, over 3, up 1, then you got these two. And then all you got to do is do tangent along the top, tangent from here to here. So this is like an inside out. We haven't done a tangent like that yet because it's near side to far side. And then there's a tangent that goes in here. What are these little circles with a line through it telling you? Where to put your tangency. Yep. Those are telling you where to put your tangency points. I would click there to make sure your tangencies go in the correct spots. But yeah, for the most part, you should be able to go circle, do tan radius. So you can do about tangent there and there. Type in 3 and get that. Do the same thing, so you can just hit enter. You're gonna be somewhere right around here. Oh. Not cooperating, there we go. Click there, and you click somewhere up here, and that is also 3. And so once you trim all this away, you should be set up to add in that last little one here, and you should be good. Now, I could walk through the other ones, but I don't really think there's a need to. I think the main thing here is if you sit down and you break down what it's supposed to be, you don't let it overwhelm you, and just say, all right, well, I don't know exactly what to do yet, but I'm just going to take this piece by piece or bite by bite, however you want to see that or say that. Chances are you guys will probably end up with what you need. Don't forget to trim this stuff around the outside or delete it at least, because it will mess it up if you ever print these. But for the most part, that's what it's supposed to be. So when you look here, and some people will use a highlighter, and I'm totally fine with that too. But if you want to, you can sit down and try to think about where the outside of the shape is, right? And then where these points are as well. And just realize that all of these other things, this extra stuff, these dimensions, all of this stuff is all just lines to help you draw it. So none of this stuff is a part of the drawing. You don't add it into your drawing. You don't need any of this stuff that I'm highlighting in orange. This is all just pieces that will help you create it. So the blue is what you end up keeping and all the orange is extra. So you start with this and the file ends up like this.